Coming at you with some feels this morning. So, the leader and founder of Ordain Women and Mormon Stories podcast are being threatened with excommunication. Um, this is pretty predictable. This is completely predictable. It happened with the September 6th back in the early 90s. People who dared to ask complicated questions and engage their faith in a complicated way were excommunicated against their will for asking questions. It was a form of public censorship. Um, and I figure it's only a matter of time before examples be made now. With the internet, people are able to find information more easily and discuss with people complicated questions without social consequences. People who are normally censored at church for asking questions that make others uncomfortable can now do so and have an open dialogue. And it's resulting in communities that are asking challenging questions but still want to remain active. And the messages that are being sent by these actions, by this basically an act of censorship against these communities and against through these individuals, through silencing these individuals, like this affects many people that I know, many people on a very deep emotional level who are still engaged in the faith. This is violence against them, and it's not helping to answer the questions that they have, but it is silencing them with fear. Demonizing people who engage their faith with bold questioning betrays a lack of confidence. If your faith can't even handle the basic differences about what it means to be human, it must systematically oppress half its congregation, if it discourages frank discussion about sexual orientations and gender, if it must actively repel intellectual engagement that it doesn't directly control, it reveals itself as being something that is inherently weak. It cannot be tested without breaking. It cannot be challenged without requiring a significant amount of pain. Control is maintained through alienation, social ostracizing, denial, and policing of its members, particularly the ones who dare to question even basic concepts. Members who choose to engage their faith, despite these questions, and who engage their faith with complexity, are forced out of the system. They are forced out of the system that they love. This is not a system that is strong. It is a system that is deceptive, it's reductive, it's totalitarian, and it is toxic to many people. So, if you happen to be a member of the church who is watching this, by all means, and here I'm going to be a little sarcastic, by all means be faithful and obedient. The pain of all of these people is worth the comfort that denial provides you. Alienate intellectuals. Cast out the devoted who navigate their faith complexly. Shun those who recognize the sexism in the theology, but still stick around because they love it anyway. Alienate them. Just do it. Disown your homosexual youth. Demonize difference. Do not see complex questions as intellectual bravery, but a lack of character and ill intent. Be defensive. Be cautious. Don't ask complex questions about your religion. Deny history. Alienate family. Use fear to silence those who challenge you. The world is a dangerous place without Big Brother telling you what not to question and what not to pay attention to. Search, ponder, and pray if you must, but only if your questioning and your conclusions are ones that are approved by the system. Do all of it and watch the best part of your congregations suffer in silence. And do it and act puzzled when people leave in droves. Preserving your sense of comfort at the cost of other human beings is not charity. It is not virtue. And you cannot try and convince me otherwise. The people whose conclusions you don't agree with, they may have different way of navigating the faith as you. They may have different conclusions than you. I may have different conclusions than you, and there is nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to say that certain conclusions are right or wrong. What I'm simply saying is that the ability to ask the questions is incredibly important, and that is what is being violated here. Discussions are being shut down. questions are being silenced and ignored and unanswered. And many people will suffer because of it, because many people have suffered because of it. The church is not doing itself any favors, and neither are the members that are simply alienating and hating the people who are daring enough to engage their faith with complexity at the potential cost of their social sense of security and their family's respect. They're taking a lot of risks to do what they believe in. I have all the feels going out to both John DeLynn and Kate Kelly. You guys have done wonderful work, and I wish you all the best, even though we know that disciplinary councils can be pretty predictable. But yeah, I spilled my feels.